They play with toughness.
Now, here's Ingles. Here's Rubio. And trying for the go-ahead basket, it doesn't go in. And the rejection by Favors.
The long reach of Favors have a real impact, especially when he leaves the ground quickly in time for blocks.
A different look for Utah. Jay Crowder's checked in for Favors. Royce O'Neal comes in for Joe Ingles, and it's Korver in for Mitchell. The Spurs also changing it up. Rudy Gay's checked in for Purdy. Bryn Forbes comes in for White, and it's Mills in for Murray. Now, here's DeRozan. He dishes it to Aldridge. Over O'Neal. A nice shot by Aldridge. Aldridge has got his second bucket.
He's got the touch early. Coach, keep feeding him.
Rubio outside. We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the first. Feeds it to Gobert. O'Neal kicks to Rubio. From deep. The shot, no good. And that concludes the first quarter of play. It's San Antonio up by 4. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here, what do you think they've been doing or not doing?
Cleaning the glass. I mean, right from the jump, and that really helped them to set the tone.
What you have to do is establish a physical presence early. An aggressiveness their opponent has failed to match.
Crowder is the 4, and Gobert is the 5. Kyle Korver is out there with Ricky Rubio, and it's O'Neal in at the small forward. That's the group for Utah getting going here in the second. And Forbes kicks to Gay. In the corner, it's Bellinelli. Over O'Neal. The shot by Bellinelli. No good. And so it's Crowder with it. They'll bring it up for the Utah Jazz. They trail by 1.
Well, last season, a tough one for Crowder. Was moved from Boston to Cleveland and then moved again over to Utah at the deadline. Also struggled mightily with his shot and just had a down year.
Now, here's Bellinelli after the miss from Ricky Rubio. Gay, that's good.
Getting it done inside. Rudy Gay not just floating around the perimeter.
And Utah has possession. Out to the right wing. And here's Gobert. And Rubio kicks to Gobert. Outside Korver. Pulls up on the wing. Another shot. Gobert can't hit. San Antonio leading by 3. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
And you watch Rudy Gay. When he's in rhythm, he can still help you out. Good athlete, good jump shooter. Not an easy matchup for opponents.
The Spurs shooting their first free throws of the game right now.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
Good from Rudy Gay. And Smitty discussing Gay, he seems better now at getting his points within the flow of that offense.
Experience gives you poise. It gives you a bigger view of the game. Gay's able to stay patient now and pick his spots.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Derek Favors checked in for Gobert. Joe Ingles comes in for Crowder. Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for O'Neal. And Donovan Mitchell subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Rudy Gay hits them both. And Rudy Gay, Greg, has always been a fantastic scorer since he came into the NBA.
And Gay doesn't do as much scoring as he once did, but he has become more efficient. Doesn't have plays ran for him, gets looks through his instinct. And as he's gotten older, Gay has become even more crafty with how he scores.
And the officials call a traveling violation. Pirtle, he's checked in for San Antonio. 55 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Murray against Favors. To the inside, Aldridge. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Cephalosha. Got it. Good job in the low post. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Murray with it. Now defended by Mitchell. And DeRozan. Here we go. Off target at the rim. Jazz trail by 3. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Pushing the action, Donovan Mitchell has an innate ability to make people foul him.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
He was a part of that terrific draft class in 2017. Donovan Mitchell was somewhat unheralded, but may turn out to be the best of the bunch.
And Mitchell drops them both. 15 seconds left in the first half. Mitchell against Murray. Passes to DeRozan. With 1 on the clock, and no good on the last second attempt this time. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Spurs lead by 1. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. With Coach Quinn Snyder, Quinn, what has to happen in the second half?
Well, we got to keep getting stops and really just make plays. Make plays on the offensive end and be solid defensively. No magic.
It's a pretty simple game, right, Coach? Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the halftime show on 2K Sports. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. They were outscored by just a bit in the second quarter as they go into the break now holding just a 1-point advantage. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
I was surprised at how comfortable they seemed here on the road. The hostile crowd, that didn't bother them at all. And I want to see if they can keep that up in the second half.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Utah?
Well, they're definitely struggling with their offensive efficiency. Anytime you're shooting in the low 30s from the floor, you're not going to put yourself in a position to win. They look too predictable right now. They need to do a better job of adjusting to what they're seeing from the defense.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
Welcome back, everyone, to Salt Lake City, Utah. That's the state capital right here in Utah. Really a sight to see when you get that kind of perspective from above. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Steve, in the NBA right now, who do you think is the best isolation player in the game?
I think there's two guys come to mind. James Harden, he's a guy that you look at is very comfortable in the isolation game, and also Kyrie Irving. There's so many guys that are great one-on-one players. When you start talking about just giving them the basketball and all eyes on them, those are the two guys that stand out, James Harden and Kyrie Irving.
On the floor for San Antonio, DeRozan and Aldridge, the talented forward duo. Murray out there with White, and it's Poeltl in at the 5 spot. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Jazz had to weather the loss of Gordon Hayward, so they need to play together to have success. Coach Quinn Snyder said, "We expect guys to put the team in front of themselves and support each other. Our strength isn't in one guy. We need each other." Kevin?
David, one thing for sure, they come to play almost every game. Thank you.
You want to talk about ugly? This team is losing, partly because he hasn't drained a shot all night.
A different look for Utah. Crowder comes in for Derek Favors. And Royce O'Neal subbed in for Joe Ingles. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Davis Bertans checks in for Jakob Poeltl. Gay comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Bryn Forbes, he's checked in for Derek White. And it's Mills in for Murray. Now here's DeRozan. 18 feet out. Doesn't go for him.
I can tell you right now, the coach loved everything about that shot except the result.
And Smitty, it's amazing since Popovich took over the Spurs, they've missed the playoffs only one time under his tenure.
Yeah, in his first season, they won only 20 games. But then the big consolation prize, they got the #1 overall pick, which became, guess who? Tim Duncan.
Here's DeRozan. .10 left in the third quarter of the game. That one doesn't go.
Tough night for him shooting the basketball, but this team has been resilient. That's why they hold the lead.
O'Neal against DeRozan. Now, here's Mitchell. Defense is right there. 4 on the shot clock. For the lead. Here's Crowder. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. And so it's Mills who will bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. Since the second half started, they've only given up 3 points. Jazz have gone only 1 of 5 from the field since halftime. Very slow start offensively. Shot by Crowder, no good. San Antonio leading. Inside, here's Gay, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Jay Crowder.
A guy who has always had the tools to get to the line more. Gay aggressive that time.
The Spurs shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
Rudy Gay has been in the league for over a decade now. A valuable wingman with incredible length.
So he gets them both. 19 seconds left in the third quarter.
And when you can't hold for the last possession, that's what you want to try and do.
Patience and execution. You need both here. We'll see what they run.
Mitchell with it. Over Murray. That one off the back iron and out. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. Spurs out in front, up 3. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the 4th quarter. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Execution. This is what you practice every day. These guys are professionals. Beautiful play.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the 4th quarter could have even more action in store for us. They've got Favors. Cephalosha is out there with Joe Ingles. Then it's Donovan Mitchell, and it's Korver in at the 2. That's the group right now for Utah. Here's Aldridge. Second shot opportunity. Pirtle, the pass to Murray. And at last, they get one to fall. Murray's got the lead up to 5 now for the Spurs. Korver kicks to Ingles. The Jazz working the ball around now. Favors passes to Mitchell. Over Murray. And it's Mitchell missing. Spurs leading by 5. To the inside. And Aldridge slams it in.
Wow, Aldridge attacking the rack. I love it.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Mitchell passes to Ingles. He feeds it to Favors. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Favors can really hurt you from inside the paint. If he gets the ball in a good spot, he has the size and length needed to bury the shot.
Murray kicks to Pirtle. Cephalosha against Bellinelli. Little turnaround, and it's Aldridge missing. Jazz trail by 5. Cephalosha up top. Bellinelli is covering. Mitchell against Murray. On the wing, Ingles. Clock at 6. Back to Mitchell for the 3. Utah gets it back, and Favors kicks to Korver. Murray against Mitchell. In the corner, Cephalosha with it. Over Bellinelli. It's in! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3. 54 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Murray dishes to Aldridge. Here's Pirtle. It's good!
Just tremendous shooting from Pirtle. Love how he's not afraid of taking these kinds of shots.
Utah calls timeout. They're behind by 5. There's 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Jakob Pirtle.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
Gobert checked in for Utah. Ricky Rubio comes in for Kyle Korver. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, during the last break, I heard Quinn Snyder talking with his team. He told them, don't look at the scoreboard. It's 0-0. One play at a time. Execute the game plan. That's how we're going to win this game. Kevin is trying to keep him focused.
Here's DeRozan. Derek Favors making his last shot. Money!
Full speed ahead. I mean, they have been in control since the opening tip, and that may have sealed the deal.
Yes, and you're watching. Even this late in the game, they're still making plays. You got to love watching it.
Utah calls timeout. They're behind by 5. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 20 seconds left to play in the final quarter. It's good.
The youngster's not going to buckle or fold. Donovan Mitchell is not afraid of the moment.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Yeah, you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
And now we've got the intentional foul. So the first one drops, and that makes it a three-point lead.
I mean, a terrific free throw shooter, DeRozan, really pushes the action, looking to score and or get fouled.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 4-point ball game.
Tremendous showing of confidence by getting those two to fall.
15 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Mitchell passes to Rubio. Now Ingles. Mitchell outside. Here's Rubio. No good with the tip. And so it's San Antonio who scraped by with the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thank you. DeMar, we know this team has offensive options, but it looks like there's great confidence defensively now.
Yeah, we have to be. That's what we got to do. If we play defense, we know we can score the basketball whenever we want. We just got to get stopped.
Very impressive, DeMar. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Welcome to this edition of 2K Sports. Our featured matchup tonight in Chicago, where the Bulls will be going up against the San Antonio Spurs. Checking out the Spurs. Coming into tonight, a couple of goals they have. Stay aggressive on both ends, but also play with efficiency. It's a delicate balance, but they know it's the key to playing their best ball. And Greg Popovich, easily one of the best coaches in NBA history. He'll be guiding the U.S. in international play in 2020. Kenny, how excited are you for that?
Ooh, I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited because every guy wants to play for Pop. I wish I was able to play in 2020 because that would be something. He is one of the best choices for the team.
You know, with Pop at the helm, it could be one of the best teams ever to represent our country. I might have to come out of retirement and play for them.
I wonder if they have to do in-game interviews on the international level.
No, that wouldn't be a good idea.
Come on, Pop is classic in that
Classic.
setting. Classic.
Classic for few words.
Yeah. Let me try this in few words. We're done.
Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
We have an interconference affair lined up for you today as the San Antonio Spurs come in for this one. We're all set to bring you NBA action. Welcome everyone to the broadcast table. Chris Webber to my right, Greg Anthony to my left. I'm Kevin Harlan and David Aldridge on our sideline. Of a rare matchup these days. C-Web, two clubs that do a great job of running offense through the big men down low, through the post.
But yeah, playing back to the basket. Basketball is kind of becoming a bit of a lost art. When you think about it, you can really play the point forward from the post. There was guys who would take dribbles in that post area for the whole 24-second shot clock, wait for a double team, and then he would pass it to a wide-open Dan Marley to knock you in the head with a three-pointer. And then it was guy Mark Jackson. He would do the same as a point guard and pass it out to a big, like a Rick Smith or a Patrick Ewing to shoot the jumper. So you can definitely facilitate from the post. And even though it's becoming a lost art, hopefully there's a resurgence of it because players are so skilled. They can pass from all areas of the post. It gives you a unique angle to find shooters in the top and in the corners.
Boy, it sure does. A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. DeRozan and Aldridge, the talented forward duo. White is out there with Murray, and it's Pirtle in at the 5. Here's DeRozan. Sinks that one from the post. DeRozan's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting calls, and for good reason.
Well, yeah, he's a guy who can carry you for stretches, long stretches in this game. You want to get him involved early and often.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
A lot of times your defense is your offense is your defense. This is poor decision-making right here. You can't let him have that shot. Also might have been a lack of effort.
And here's White after the three-pointer from Lauri Markkanen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Aldridge. Lays it up and banks it in.
And setting the tone early with a strong move to the rack.
Well, you like to see a little more physical nature on defense. You have to make him earn those points at the stripe.
Back to Levine. Done outside. Pass to Markkanen. Carter left side. Carter outside. Rebound San Antonio. DeRozan passes to White. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
Now, here's Dunn. Dunn, Levine. Unloads from 13. And it's White with the rebound.
The movement and the shot selection are good there, but you can't hit them all.
Kick Murray. Pass to DeRozan. Over Porter. Can't hit from the low block. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Spurs lead by 5. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here, what do you think they've been doing or not doing?
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
Yeah, closing down the lane, closing out on perimeter shooters. Interesting first quarter.
We've got Valentine. Selden is out there with Robin Lopez. And it's Arcidiacono in at the point guard. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Well, despite finishing with only 27 wins last season, the Bulls put up more shots than any other team in the NBA.
Yeah, they were first in field goal attempts, but only 23rd in makes. That's why they were last in field goal percentage. But this is what you get with so many young shooters.
Here's Selden. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. And out of bounds is San Antonio's possession. San Antonio leading by 4. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the league has unveiled a 5-point plan to improve player-referee relations. Things became heated last season with a lot of star players ejected for arguing with officials. The emphasis on respect and clear standards of conduct on both sides can only help. Kevin?
Very good point, David. Completely agree. Thanks. Now here's Gay. D right on him. Chris, of current players who could eventually become coaches, who would you put in that category? There are a lot of brilliant guys that play this game, think the game through so well.
Chris Paul, Ariza, those guys come to mind for some reason to me. Klay Thompson,
yes,
he comes to mind. And I don't know if it's the personality that I see these guys in or if it's the way that they approach the game. But, those guys come to mind. I definitely could see them taking the game to another level once their playing days have ended.
The first one falls.
And when it comes to athletic small forwards, Gay is the cream of the crop. An aggressive player whose reach really helps him on both offense and defense.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Bulls trail by 8. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Lopez right side. Hutchison passes to Lopez. Clock at 6. Puts it up from 12. Tries again. And he lays it up and in.
Lopez is terrific on the offensive glass. I love seeing him use his long arms to haul in the boards.
And Mills kicks to Forbes. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Mills can't hit.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Yeah, he has that capacity. He knows exactly where to position himself to protect the rim.
That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to just 4 points with a bucket from Valentine. Mills finds Bellinelli. Gay outside. Again, the miss by the Spurs. They play the clock right, then go 2 for 1.
Just got to time it up right.
Selden, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Now, here's Bellinelli. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Mills passes to Bertens. Off target from three-point range. Chicago's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Passes it to Hutchison. Stolen by Gay. Banked in off the glass. Gay's got 6 in the quarter.
And Gay is surprisingly finessing the paint. A real offensive juggernaut.
Here's Arcidiacono. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. It's the Spurs up by 4. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Pop, what did you think of the pace of your team in the first half?
Well, we've upped the pace. That's what we need to do because we're not as good a defensive team as we used to be. So something's got to give somewhere.
Pop, thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We welcome you back. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Quite the tussle there in the first half, huh? A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. The second quarter was a heated battle, and they were only outscored by 1, ending the half with a 4-point lead. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, I think to shoot a high percentage, your offense has to be in sync. And in the first half, those guys were sharing the basketball, playing for each other. Now it becomes a matter of being consistent at it.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
Reminds me of me at the free throw line. They had a rough half of shooting, under 35%. Some of that was great defense, but a lot of it was poor shot selection. They've got to revise the game plan, get guys open for higher quality looks. And the shooters need to go out and execute. Man, come on.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. It's been quite a game for Rudy Gay.
And when everyone's keying on you, you have a choice. Become passive or just work that much harder. He consistently chooses the latter.
Well, that's the mentality of a true competitor. Some guys shrink in the face of a challenge. For him, it's what he plays for.
On the court right now for the Spurs, DeRozan and Aldridge, the talented forward duo. Murray out there with White, and it's Pirtle in at the 5, down low.
Adept at cashing in from the inside. Porter knows he has the touch and size to score from there.
Here's Murray, following the basket by Otto Porter. Inside. Aldridge against Dunn. 4 on the clock. White down low. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. White's got his second bucket.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you spend all that time in the locker room trying to get mentally prepared. Then you come out and give up that? No.
Now here's Levine. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Can't hit that one. And the Spurs going the other way now.
How about Zach LaVine? I mean, signing a big new contract this summer. Listen, that ACL injury he had, that's in the rear view. Obviously a lot riding on his health and return to form, but he's put in the work.
His mid-range game is what sets Aldridge apart from the other bigs in our league. He's about as accurate a shooter as you'll find among players with his size.
Now here's Porter. Dunn kicks to LaVine. Puts it up from 17. Rebounded by the Spurs.
Off target with what's a pretty good look from mid-range.
Here's to
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. Here's Dunn following the bucket. And White with the block, and he's able to get it back. And the shot is good. The Spurs lead has been cut down to 6, and the bucket from Markkanen. White with it, now defended by LaVine. Here's Murray. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Murray's got the lead up to 8 now for San Antonio. Bulls have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. White against LaVine. Lets it go. Offline. And so it's San Antonio holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We'll return shortly. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Yeah, he put it on a platter, and it was served cold. Now, I love the poise, the decisiveness. This is how you run an offense.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. And so it's Mills who will bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. Now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action. All fueled up and ready to go. Taking a look at the Bulls. Dunn and LaVine are the guard set. Then there's Valentine. Then there's Robin Lopez. And it's Hutchinson in at the 4. Now here's LaVine. Following the miss by DeRozan. Shoots over DeRozan. LaVine, good. LaVine's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Chicago. San Antonio leading by 6. And Forbes kicks to Aldridge. It's hauled in by Dunn.
Pretty high percentage look with the D playing off. Just couldn't knock it down.
And LaVine, here we go. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
He's excellent at slashing to the bucket. When LaVine attacks like this, he forces the D's hand.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good, LaVine.
I mean, he's a versatile player who can come play either guard position. I mean, LaVine continues to impress as the years go on.
Murray's checked in for the Spurs. And so LaVine nails both of them.
Wrong guy to put on the line in a close game. You know he's not going to miss.
Murray, the pass to DeRozan. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. He feeds it to Aldridge. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assist. DeRozan DeRozan's got 3 assists in the game. Bulls trail by 6. Now here's Levine. To the middle. Stolen by Gay. It's 2-on-1. Here's DeRozan. Buries the 20-footer.
Look, he's not an easy man to defend. He'll get his points one way or another.
And Chicago shooting poorly, just 35% so far. Dunn right side. Lopez outside. Left side Levine. Marcus Aldridge grabs the miss.
The movement and the shot selection are good there, but you can't hit them all.
Murray dishes to Forbes. To the right side. To the paint. Here's Gay. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces as it appears it'll be a nice win here for San Antonio.
The biggest factor tonight had to be their great shooting. They shot much better than the other team.
Yeah, they were working hard on both sides of the floor, but that sky-high field goal percentage plus the pressure defense to force the other team into a lot of misses. Love the effort tonight.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for DeMar DeRozan.
Wow, he owned this game. He never stopped working. He did it all for them, and you can't help but admire that kind of effort.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Week, DeMar DeRozan.
And I love that it's been a hard-charging performance. Jump shots have been kind of an afterthought. His main goal has been to attack the rim and put the D in some tough spots and also finishing strong.
On the road in a tough atmosphere, he's taken on the role of star tonight. If one of their other players came up short, he picked up the slack to make sure they'll be walking out of here with a win. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Jim Boylan was going over with his team. He told them not to hold back. He said, I want 100% effort out there. If you can't give it, I'll get you out. No time to rest. Let's get after it. Kevin, he needs everything they've got.
And so here is Chicago after the basket by San Antonio. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Wendell Carter. The first free throw is good. Both free throws good from DeRozan. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Arcidiacono kicks to Selden. And he drops off the glass.
And with that basket, he's able to end a 10-0 run by San Antonio.
The clock now can just run out for the Spurs. White with it. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
DeMar, big effort tonight. What is the state of mind of this club right now?
Just we focusing in on the defensive end. We know if we get stops, we can definitely score whenever we want.
And you got it done tonight, DeMar. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Where we'll be going just moments from now, as the Nets will be going up against the Denver Nuggets. For the Nuggets, they're in first place in the Western Conference, and given the season they were coming off last year, it's about where we expected them to be at this stage. Here we are coming up on the All-Star break. Shaq, for guys that are in a groove, could this disrupt their rhythm?
You know, veterans know how to keep things rolling, Ernie. Some younger guys could be affected mentally because you know those young guys, they don't concentrate anyway. They have ADHD, AD, APD, AUD, DOD, DAD, and all other Ds.
E-I-E-I-O.
No doubt. With a knick-knack paddywhack. If you're on a hot streak and it's for real, it doesn't matter. It's going to continue. And if you're kind of this team that when things don't go well and then all of a sudden you start to struggle, then it's not real, Ernie. But I think this one's real.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. We're going to see you later.